Welcome back to New York City Gardener. I'm Nastasha. So today I'm going to be potting up some of my seedlings. I'm going to be transplanting some of my seedlings outside that are ready to go outside. I'm also going to be making some adjustments to my watering system, and then I'll give you a quick little garden tour because a lot has been happening over the past week. So let's get growing. We have more bok choy going on here. Again, you can see that they're already starting to go to seed. We've had some pretty warm days lately, so I understand why they're doing that, but we are also thinking about making a ramen soup. So we're gonna be using bok choy for that. Might even make a little salad because we have so much growing, and I definitely wanna make sure I harvest it before it gets too bitter. A quick update on the fig tree. It's looking great. We have some nice, adorable little leaves here. I don't think I'm gonna get figs this year. It's probably gonna be a next year situation, but it's looking very good. I'm very happy with the progress so far. We have a lot of lettuce coming through. I'm just trying to make the most use of this soil space, so that's looking great. Lemon tree is so happy. We even have some flowers that are growing here. So I'm excited about that. I'm actually kind of surprised by how quickly they're flowering, but I have brought this tree out every single day that it was above 55 degrees, just so they can get as much growth as possible. But yeah, it's looking happy. And what it's doing is it's making all these beautiful new leaves, and then it's been dropping a lot of these old leaves. So I can tell that it's very happy. On to the raspberries. I mean, the raspberries have been growing crazy. And also look, there's so much life happening. I mean, wow, they're just gorgeous. We are gonna get the most amount of raspberries this year. And this is just the first plant. And now the second plant. If you remember from my earlier videos, the canes were out of control, and I made them into this nice little circular pattern here. It is getting a little bit heavy back here. So I think what I want to do is add like a little small trellis here just to hold it up a little bit, but it's doing okay. I mean, I think even if I left it, it'd be fine. I just like the idea if it was like a little bit more upright. But again, lots of buds. I mean, there's buds all over these canes, and they are looking really fantastic. So I'm so excited about raspberries. We have more arugula here. Again, it's growing really well, and arugula bolts very fast. So I definitely want to eat this as soon as possible, but I've even just been snacking on it, taking little leaves, snacking on it, and it's so delicious. Then we have another type of lettuce here. This is one of my favorite lettuces. It's just very soft and buttery. I just absolutely love it. And I love the different color too. It's gorgeous. This kohlrabi that I transplanted the other day is doing fantastic. So I have the other three kohlrabis right here. They're also doing well. And I noticed that since I transplanted the other smaller ones and got them out of their way, these have been doing a lot better. I have way too many garlic chives. And if you saw from my past videos, I don't want these garlic chives here. There's just too many of them, but they self-seeded. But what we're gonna do with the garlic chives is we're going to add that to the ramen that we're planning on making with the bok choy. So I'm gonna be harvesting a lot of this, and I'm just gonna harvest as much as possible. And if you remember from my other videos, all of those little baby seedlings, it turns out these were all borage plants. So there's probably 20 borage plants in here, which is way too many. I still need to take some of these out. Max I should have in this container is 1. So I need to take these out. I need to put them into other containers. I'm also just gonna put them into like water bottles and things like that I can go give away to friends. The trellis is looking good. The peas are kind of connecting to the trellis. I've been like trying my best to be like, look, just connect. This is your trellis. But they seem to be a little bit slow on figuring it out. But you know, we're making headway here. I don't see any of them hanging on yet, but hopefully they're gonna figure it out very soon. But other than that, they're doing fantastic. We also have a lot of radishes. I have, I think, 3 different types of radishes in here. So again, we're not seeing any heads yet, any bulbs yet, so they're not ready, but they're still looking really good. I also have a bunch of carrots here, but I feel like the radishes might be taking over to where the carrots aren't growing. But maybe once the radishes are harvested, the carrots can grow. But we are kind of running out of time here, so we'll see what happens. I have some spinach here. I planted a lot more seeds in here, but I guess some of them just didn't take for whatever reason. But also I kind of like that they have the spacing, so that's really beautiful. And then the other day I also added a few more seeds just to see if I can get a little bit more. So I think, yeah, like that's a baby. This is also my garlic bed, so that's my main purpose for this container here. On to the overwintered peppers. I started out with 15, but only the strong survived. Overall, I think they've done very well. I'm even getting a few flowers. Yep, I have a flower here, so that's looking really good. And I saw a couple out. Oh, yep, there we go. There's some more flowers here. So I'm excited about that. Again, they're not really designed to be out here yet. So I'm just letting them, I'm only bringing them out if it's above 55 degrees. And then I bring them in back inside. So that's why they're in these containers. Once the nighttime temperatures are above 55 degrees, then I will permanently pot them into some bigger containers so we can get tons of peppers this year. The tomato plants are doing fantastic. If you remember a few days ago, I put these into bigger containers, bigger cells, and they are flourishing. They're definitely happier in this bigger container. I can't wait to plant these outside, but again, it's still a little too early. It's not time yet, so we have to wait a little bit longer. But they're doing very well, and have them in a nice bottom watering tray, so that way they can get plenty of water without too much. Now onto the seedlings. There are a few things that I want to pot up today. So all the pepper plants, I have them in multiple containers here. I want to put all of those in these bigger cell trays, something like that. I want to get that done today. And then there's a couple of things like the broccoli. There's a couple other things that I definitely want to go ahead and plant outside. It's basically time. Okay, I've been procrastinating transplanting these leeks and this broccoli, so I want to get that done right now. I just need to decide which container it's going into. So I have a good amount of space in these tall trash can containers, so I think I'm gonna plant them here. I think I'll put the broccolis in these two, and then I have two more over here where I could do the leeks. Now I also have my kohlrabi in here, so it might be a little tight. But I'm thinking about maybe just putting the leeks like on the sides here. It should be okay. It can also just be a little test to see how it works. And I'll put the rest of the leeks in here because this lettuce will be harvested semi-soon. I want to make a salad out of this tomorrow, so we can start making space for the leeks. Okay, so I have my broccoli here. I'm just gonna take it out of this little container, and I'm not 100% sure how many I have here. I always plant a lot of seeds, and that way I end up with, I can always trim, or I can transplant them into something else. Some of the seeds that I have are kind of older, so that's why I want to make sure that I at least get some germination. So yeah, I do have quite a few. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But I'm gonna focus on my strongest ones. So it's definitely, I see a couple here that are definitely stronger than everything else. Okay, so this one's definitely my strongest. So this one for sure, I'm gonna put that one in here. So that one's good there. Now I'm gonna take my second best one, which I think is this one. So we're gonna put that guy in here. Okay, so I planted the leeks. Yeah, these are probably a little too close together, and maybe they shouldn't be intercropped with the kohlrabi, but again, I'm dealing with such small spaces here, so I'm just doing the best that I can. I went ahead and put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it was a little cramped over here, 6, 7, 8. So it's probably a little too cramped for this planter, but also with the transplant, you know, maybe not all of them will take. So I'm also okay with just giving this a test to see what I can get out of it. Yeah, so I'm very excited about what I did here. I'll keep you updated and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so now I'm gonna be potting up my peppers. So I have quite a few shishitos, have some habanadas, and some other like spicy peppers, and I also have some sweet peppers. I also have 2 peppers that a friend gave me. So the plan is, since these are pretty small trays, pot them up into this tray. I have more pepper plants than the trays, but I think for now there's 3 of these. This is my favorite pepper, so I'm gonna pot these up into 3 separate cells. Everything else will just get its own cell, and then later I could pot them up into something bigger. Probably another month. Then they'll actually go into a 3 to 5 gallon container. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this done. Shouldn't take that long. Have my tray here. I'm using my ProMix BX. You can see a lot of the roots sort of taking over, so we gotta get them out of here. So we'll start with this one. I'm gonna have them all labeled so I remember what's planted where. Say about a month I'll be able to actually keep these outside, because like it's gonna be below 50 tonight, so the peppers definitely cannot stay outside. Okay, so these are my shishitos, my favorite pepper, so they're each gonna get their own cell so they can start getting as big as possible. Yeah, you can see it's very easy. Pull them apart, now they're gonna have a lot more space. And I have these 2 more that my friend gave me. Okay, so very cute little peppers that he brought me. This is the Jimmy Nardello. So we're gonna put these in there. And then he brought me a habanada, so I'm very excited about this. Habanada peppers are, forget who did it, but someone would take habanero peppers and then they kept selectively choosing the peppers with the least heat, and then over generations of peppers they found peppers that have that habanero flavor without the heat. So definitely growing those this year. Very excited about that. So now let's just get everything filled up, trying not to make a mess if at all possible. Okay, and once I give these a good watering, they'll get all nice and settled in there. Okay, I think it's gonna be great. They're definitely gonna get a lot bigger now. Okay, so now I have them in a self-watering tray. So I have a little lift underneath this towel, something I bought at Restaurant Depot. It's not really for this, but I use it for this. Then I have a little towel there that'll wick up all the water, and then it will be able to bottom water the seedlings. I much prefer bottom watering over anything, so just want to get these guys settled in and get rid of the dirt off their leaves. They're gonna look a little sad for probably a day or two, and then they'll pick back up. Just add a little water down to the bottom here. Make sure they soak up whatever they need. Yeah, I can't wait to show you how much bigger they get in the next couple of weeks. Okay, I think that's all I'm able to get done for today. I wanted to do more work on my watering system, but I ended up helping my partner with some filming that he was doing, so I kind of ran out of daylight. You can see that the sun has pretty much set in the background, but I'm totally fine with what I got done. At least I got more plants in the garden and in the soil, which is the most important thing for timing. The watering, I'm just hand watering every day anyway, so it's not a big deal if I go another day without my entire watering system perfectly set up. So I think that's what I'm gonna work on tomorrow. But other than that, very happy with what I got done. So I'll see you on the next one.